Welcome back to another video. Uh, haven't been around since Thursday's live. For those who attended Thursday's live, I want to say thank you very much. It was very well attended, probably my best live I've did yet. Hopefully we can keep growing on that. If y'all have not noticed, I have a new microphone here. Finally got those items in to try to improve my sound some. I have been working on the settings for this microphone for the last almost 2 hours. And I still do not have it dialed in like I want, but I'm sure my friend at Wingbits will chime in and help me out with some settings. I have been watching YouTube videos and all kinds of stuff on how to get this right. I don't know how I feel about having a microphone in front of my face, but I was warned that that's how this was going to be with this new, more, I guess you could say, professional microphone, as they call it. So hopefully it sounds better than what the last one was. It just seems like sometimes I'm overdriving it. And sometimes if I move away at all, then I'm not talking close enough to it. And it's going to be something I'm going to have to get used to. But either way, welcome back to the Monday videos. Going over projects and what we're in right now. And I'm not prepared at all for this video, but I still wanted to put it in there because I got some more videos to do during the week. It's Christmas also, so I don't know how much is going to get done. And I'm starting to kind of run out of ideas. We can only update projects so much before it just kind of gets too repeated, if that makes sense. You know, I can only put so many videos out talking about Silencio and Wingbits and 375 and Entropy and Entropy, whatever. And, you know, I know there's been a lot of stuff going on. The Bitcoin and crypto charts are going crazy right now. Well, they're not going crazy. They're going down, if you want to call it that. But let's go ahead and get to it and start talking about that. And we'll get to cover everything. Let's see. Well, unless you've been underneath a rock and haven't been paying attention at all to people straight panicking online right now, this is the Bitcoin chart. And you can see that it has not looked good at all. And, you know, we have this is the daytime chart, the daily chart, excuse me. And ever since last Wednesday, you know, it hit its peak on Tuesday, 108,000 it hit, and has come down ever since then. Now, y'all know y'all not here to follow me for my TA skills or anything like that. And basically I can just kind of repeat what I've been watching plenty of videos right now. And basically they're all saying they think we in for more. Now, why? I don't know. I think part of it is when they announced that they weren't going to be doing as many rate drops. I also think that some people are taking profits. It's the end of the year, taxes and stuff like that. I think it's a combination of things. And you know, Tyler, you know, I follow Tyler for his TA, and he's been pretty right and pretty accurate, but he thinks that this is going to fall more, but it's going to be more of a sharp kind of fall, kind of get it over with and then bounce back up. You have people I see online talking about this is going to go down to the 84,000s, 86,000s. You know, that sounds like a cool number. I don't know. I don't think nobody really knows. I know that if I had more money and it wasn't Christmas, I would be DCAing into all of our projects that we normally talk about. You know, we have the Ethereum that is also taking a hit also. And, you know, we like to cover these projects. I mean, we like to cover these prices because when we start looking at our price action of our projects that we're in, we want to be able to see, hopefully it kind of following the same thing. Well, if Bitcoin is doing this, you kind of hope it's still going up. But, you know, what you're hoping is that you see, you know, even though Solana's headed down, you know, Solana started going down on Saturday, which was not 2 days ago. Well, yeah. No, I'm sorry. This is November, November 23rd, and it's slowly heading down. That's 186,000. Listen, Solana's not going nowhere. People need to quit panicking about all this different stuff. Alts have taken a hit more than anything else. You know, this is AVAX. AVAX hit its peak December 4th. It came down. You'll know I'm into peak, and you know, even peak hit 76 cents and still hanging around this 50-cent mark. Crow, I'm in the Crow. Vet's another one. But me, if I had the cash, or if Santa happens to be bringing me something, even Cardano Banana was up here $1.31, but closed out up here at $1.22, came down. You know, if I have the cash, I'm jumping in and I'm DCAing into some of these tokens. That's just me. And some people might not agree with that. Do we really think crypto's over with? Do we think the bull market's over with already? You know, do we think all season's never going to happen? I don't think so. We wouldn't be where we are today if we were just going to be Bitcoin maxis and stuff like that. So I don't know. Um, I'm watching my fantasy football team tonight. It looks like I'm going to win, go to Super Bowl, and that's got a pretty good prize package to it. I'm planning on rolling that cash into crypto and into this channel. I want a better monitor here. I want to still keep improving this little YouTube thing I got set up here. So I'm taking some of that cash from that, but some of that cash is going to go into either more projects or just straight DCA and into more tokens. And that's me. And I'm not saying y'all have to do the same thing, but because none of this is financial advice. It's just me telling you what I'm doing. But I'm trying not to make this video too long because it's late already for me messing with this microphone. And I'm gonna go ahead and see what happens with this microphone. I'm kind of watching it, the levels, and I don't like what I see, but I'm just watching it. Let's get into these projects, see what's going on with them. All right, so getting started here. Again, I'm gonna try to make this video short. I don't have a lot of stuff to get real into deep with these projects. Not a lot really going on with them. So Entropy still has a little bit of a price decrease, but you still can't knock it. I'm making $20 a day, even with the price going down the way it's going down. Still mounting about 125,000 tokens a day. I have a second cred with them, a second device. That second device is also burning about 125,000 tokens a day. And so far total, when I did the math today, it's over $2,000 worth of entropy. So I think it shows my dedication to that project. And total, it's burned millions of tokens. So if you're interested in that project, Entropy, go to justentropy.lol for the website. It's got links to the Discord, links to the Twitter X, and you can get into Entropy. Yes, you still got to dig the hole. I know some people have frozen ground right now that they can't dig and stuff like that. I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry, but that is just the way right now. Be active in the Discord. Go ahead and try to dig a hole, post it on Twitter and stuff like that. Moving on to our second project is Soarchain right now. Hey, that's what it is. I know I had some people make some comments on my YouTube video I did, but hey, for right now, depending on how long you keep your phone tethered to that device, if you can keep it all day, you're going to do better than I'm doing. Right now I'm doing about 180 to 200 tokens a day. Sometimes mostly close to 100 and 180, just because, again, when I go to sleep, my phone has to be next to me so it does not reach my vehicle. Again, they have no problem with it being connected when the vehicle's parked. Hey, you look at DIMO. DIMO, it only has to be plugged in once per week, and that's it. So, it's not getting data when, DIMO's not getting data when that's not plugged in. So what's the, people complaining like, well, Soarchain's paying you, they're not getting any data. DIMO can be plugged in for 1 hour out of the entire week, as long as it's close to a Helium device, and you're going to get paid for that. So what's the difference? So some people are taking little battery packs, keeping the battery packed onto their phone, and their phone keeping it in their car overnight. Hey, if you want to do that, that's on you. Again, while I'm in my house walking around or sitting there watching TV, not where my room is here on this side of the house, but when it's on the other side of the house, it stays connected. When I'm at my office, as long as I can remember to keep my phone next to me and not in front of me, I have an L-shaped desk. So as long as it's on this side of the desk, it stays connected. So if I'm running errands, I've been running a lot of errands with Christmas, going hunting and stuff like that. My phone stays in my vehicle. I'm getting 180, 190,000 tokens. The price has come down a little bit along with everything else. And it's still making me $6-7 a day. Price goes back up, it's going to go back up. Soarchain has re-implemented staking. I am being a crybaby because I don't like the way staking, and nobody has yet to answer me. 3 times, 3 days in a row, I have asked the question, why are they not supporting the original validators? You know, this channel has been a huge supporter of a certain validator, and he has not heard anything. The most he's heard is that they'll be back available at some certain point. So I don't know who they're staking currently through, and I think it's wrong that they're not letting anybody know, because right now, if you go and stake, you can stake it through Soarchain. You're not going to have tokens left to go stake through anybody else. I just don't like gimmicks like that, and I don't understand why they can't answer my question. Not that I'm anybody special, but it's anybody who would ask a question at Discord. You know, I'm seeing people complain that they have tickets that have been open for some time now. If you see my past videos, they have people who are leaving those comments currently that, hey, I got a ticket open that's been open for a while, and nobody's answering it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you other than maybe, close the ticket and reopen it, start calling them out in the general, which normally I don't, I'm not a proponent of, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Soarchain had another update where you can see the latest 10 transactions on Solana. And big alpha's dropping soon. AI is about to take Soarchain to the next level, and you don't want to miss it. Join us for an exclusive space this Friday. So I just saw this. It got released a couple hours ago. I didn't see this before. I'm just seeing this now. So if you're interested, check out Discord, the announcement section, and check out this link. Moving on to our next project is going to be GEODNET. GEODNET's running along. Price it just like everything else. Has had a little bit of an increase. Not too bad. Not as bad as some of these other ones that we're seeing right now. GeoDNet has had about a 15% decrease, and it's going from 24 cents down to 21 cents, which is only about a 3-cent drop. It ain't the end of the world. 15% sounds like it, but it's not. But it's not that bad. Only announcement that they really got right now is that they're a token unlock schedule updated and published on market cap, if you want to take a look at that. But no real big kind of updates. Some super hexes that got released. If anybody wants to check out any kind of super hexes, but I know some of y'all, along with me, I think, are going to have some GeoDNet stations coming along with their Wingbits combo stations. So that might be something that y'all might want to go look at if y'all, even though y'all picked a place for it to be installed. But I know there were several people who used my code to, which my code is right here for, if you want a GeoDNet device, so you can use my code at hivefix.ai for 10% off for strictly GeoDNet devices if you're looking for that. And there were several people who did use my code, TheGrumpyDad, at hivefix.ai and bought strictly a GeoDNet station. Some bought just the Wingbit station. Some bought the combo station. But that option is available if some people are looking for GeoDNet stations. With GeoDNet stations right now, I'm making about $5 a day. It was $6 a day until this price drop. But again, that's expected right now. Moving on again, WeatherXM. WeatherXM has also had a pretty decent price drop also. With WeatherXM in the last week, since our last video, you do see it going from 47 down to, it was at 58 cents down to 47 cents. So it's about 11-cent decrease. Again, it's at 18% right now. They had some pretty good volume going up, but for the month, it's down 47 cents. Down 20%. WeatherXM still there. I know they got people, I mentioned this in my last video, some people still talking about buying devices. They're happy with that price, $1.10 per day. I don't know exactly what the station's going for now, if it's $200, $300. Might be 200, 300 days. I see the price going up in that token. Again, none of this is financial advice. This is me just assuming, but it's a decent project so far. So I can see it going back up. I can see all this going back up. I can see the whole crypto market going back up. So I got to watch what I say. I don't want nobody to take that the wrong way, but it was making better than that in the last previous weeks. And I can see it coming up whenever we do have an alt season or whenever we have that. Moving on to our next project is NATIX. NATIX still making about 86 cents a day. Again, it's hard to kind of judge NATIX because NATIX is all depending on how much you drive. Talk about it every week. I don't want to rehash it again, but the more you drive, the better ranking you get, which is the better rewards you get. I don't really agree with that because to me, the people who don't drive as much and don't have ride share, Uber type jobs are at a very big disadvantage to make anything decent from this project. But when you go back and you look at the current price, it is 0.0012, which is down 10% in the last 7 days. But I do have to give props where props is due. When you look at this for the month, it is still up 111% for the month. The 2-3 other projects that we've talked about so far have not had that kind of increase in a month's time. So again, I'll be fair and give credit where credit is due. I don't agree with everything what NATIX has said and done in the past, and I still disagree with they want you to stake, but then it hurts your hodl score because you get bonuses for hodling and not selling, but they want you to stake. That's on you. But that's NATIX. And then looking at the Discord, there's no new updates on that in the last week. Next is another ESP32 project that we're working on. That's going to be ERWIN, and I've had videos that covered it. ERWIN, we're making about 56 cents a day. Price action has stayed pretty flat, pretty much the same thing. So it has not had no 10 or 15% drop like some of these projects. Also, it also depends on how many boxes that get opened a day. If your ESP32 device is part of or picks the correct password, again, there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's nothing you can do to help it or anything like that. But if you get lucky enough that your device is the one that picks it, you're going to get $60, $70 for that one thing. Now, again, I've been in this project now, I don't know how long, 2 or 3 months, and I've had the pleasure of opening one box. So majority of my rewards total, I think I have $135 in this project in about 2 months. But majority of that came back before they reduced the rewards for opening a box. And I made about $85 on that one box opener. But since then, I'm making about 50 cents, 56 cents a day, depending on how many boxes are opening. You're making about 50 cents per day per open box. So when I look at what I make after 7 days, it's, about 56 cents per day when I do the math on it at the current price. So that's ERWIN. Again, when you think about it, I keep telling y'all, these devices cost, you get 3 of them for $18. I have a link in my description below. So how long does it take? Either way, 36 days, this will be paid off with ERWIN. With Entropy, it's paid off halfway through the first day. As long as you can get in that project with Entropy. So Entropy, ERWIN, there are some other projects out there. One of them doesn't really have tokenomics out yet, and that's Useless Brick. I am involved in Useless Brick, but I haven't really did a video on them yet because I still don't understand the tokenomics, and there's really no token out yet. And then there's another one out there that we've discussed in the past that I don't know what's going on with some of the issues with it, and I don't want to discuss a project on here and kind of, propose a project to y'all without knowing the full story about what's going on behind them. And they have not released their update yet of their new version they're doing. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. So going next is going to be grass. Grass, right now that price has come down also down to 250, which means like for the past 7 days, it's about a 22% drop, which is a little bit more than what some of our other projects have done. But again, also, I will give it credit that for the month, it's still up about 9%, 9.3%. So compared to some other projects, it is holding its own. I Apologize for people who follow these videos every Monday to sound like a broken record, but I still say over and over, they're hurting themselves because they lose their momentum. We have no idea when the next drop's going to be. I'm telling you, it's going to be months from now. Months from now. It has been made very clear that I think it's funny, sad and funny that they've had to come up with a sticker just for this because it gets asked so many times. We don't know how many epochs are going to be in this stage, and it depends on the development of the project. I have always said, while grass continues to make me look like a fool sometimes, the lack of communication from this project, that's why a lot of us did not know about this airdrop coming or when this was going to happen. But, and a lot of people didn't think, including myself, didn't think this was going to be a legit project. Hey, we all got this great airdrop. Still doesn't mean it's a legit project yet, but hey, we got a great airdrop. I got over at that time over $1,000 worth of grass dropped to me. Can't complain about this project. It's hard for me to complain about this project, but it still needs a little bit of some better steering and communication. How about that? I will say and just remind everybody that all my grass is staked at this point with BitHarvest. If you go to the grass website, it gives you an option for staking where you can pick the validator. And I am staking currently with BitHarvest. Still got some pretty decent rewards. Even though that original APY came down some, it was at 100% at one point. I think it was down to 50 or something. I don't know where it's exactly at now. I haven't looked at it lately. I just compound whatever I make. I put back into the staking. So Eric Anderson, who is with, I guess his last name Anderson. I thought him all the time was Anderson. Anderson. I don't want to mispronounce his name. I apologize if I do. But came out with this pretty low chart, and it is basically telling you how epochs are 30 days each, and at the end of certain stages, at the end of stage 1 is when we got our first airdrop, and then here is our next stage that we're currently in. Each stage has its set of epochs. So we're currently in epoch 3 for grass. It's got 7 stages, possibly, in a bonus epoch. That's what the last one had. But they're saying basically, we don't know exactly how many epochs it's going to be. We don't know exactly how long it's going to go for. This is where I said I think that you'll lose the momentum in the price action and stuff like that because they're not releasing any new grass out because nobody's got them dropped. Hey, this is their project. This is something I want to go because people have asked also before, when's the next grass airdrop? We don't know. We don't know. We know that we're in epoch 3. The last one had 7 epochs. So could this go into March or April? Very likely before the next time you get any grass dropped to you. And then we'll have to see how much is dropped to us and figure out from there about this project. I know they have people discussing on there to make sure you don't have any of the old grass running. If you had anything on the Chrome extensions or on your desktop, make sure it is the updated version because it has better rewards. So just make sure you're getting that done through grass. Next, moving on to Helium IOT. Helium IOT is basically just running steady. You did see a somewhat drop in the price of helium, but as far as Helium IoT is concerned, you did have a 17% drop in the last 7 days, which is consistent with every other project, to be fair, that we have discussed so far at this point. When you look at the month, it is up 13% for the month. So yeah, 0.00134 for that. If you look at, we also like to, in this video, go over Helium Mobile because a lot of people are in Helium Mobile who are also into these projects. And the last 7 days is down 20%. And for the last month, it is still up 63% from when we saw this big push after that vote. What's going on with that vote? I don't know. Basically, I think they revoted it or took away the guys' votes until they got exactly what they wanted. I know we have talked over and over about HIP. I think it was 137 with China. Apparently, that must be going through. That a lot of them devices are being banned, and you should start seeing today. Today's Monday, December 23rd. According to the Helium Discord, you should be able to start seeing some type of increase in rewards from that. So I have been keeping on a data sheet, spreadsheet or whatever. I've been keeping my IoT rewards listed, and we'll see, if we see some type of, bigger increase. Helium is down 16% itself, which again is kind of consistent with everything else, to be fair, with everything else. For the month, it is up 13%. So that's a positive thing, I guess. We've seen that with several other projects too now, is that a month ago we were more down. So this also goes back to a thing with a lot of people who are down right now about how much. Yes, we all would like to see Bitcoin and some of these, cryptos go straight up, but nothing's going to go straight up. You're going to have these corrections. You're going to have different market corrections or whatever you want to call it, and it's going to have to happen. Nothing is going to go straight up, no matter how hard of a bull run we have, bull cycle, whatever you want to call it. And if you look at the last bull cycle we had, where we had this pretty good surge up and a pretty decent pullback, just like we had now, before it really took off for some real all-time highs. For these people we watching, that's what's happening now. Do they know? How do they know? I don't know. But that's what they're saying. So I'm not panicking. So going back to our sheet here, DIMO, still not happy with DIMO. DIMO has updated my ticket. For those who have not seen any of my previous videos, 1 out of my 3 DIMO devices says it has not been connected in 17 years. And even though it's giving me rewards and it's showing connected. So I did get rewards for that one again. And you know what happens is that one goes for like normally 3 or 4 weeks consecutively. Then all of a sudden it reverts back to week 1 and says it hasn't been connected in 17 years. I've had a ticket open for months on that. They keep telling me the next update will fix it, next update will fix it. Well, now they finally have agreed to swap it out, which I'm sure that will reset my rewards again. So, DIMO has also, along with everything else, has seen somewhat of a price decrease. And over the last 7 days, it's had a 22% decrease from 22 cents to 17 cents. Over the last month, it has about a 2% increase. So it went from 16.9 to 17. So for the month, we don't see that big, 13 to 14% increase like we've seen with some of these other projects. Now, going back and looking last Monday, they had on the 14th, we discussed about new governance that was live for voting, these new dips, as they want to call them, and also, happy Friday, holidays upon us, and that kind of stuff like that. So there is this announcement or whatever you want to call it from DIMO. Also, something about is your car on chain? We reached 30 hats sold or something. Because if you want a hat, you can look at them. Also, the announcement that some people have not gotten their rewards yet for Monday. They had an announcement this morning at 8:26 a.m. my time, and then it says now they should be all patched up. Polygon gas prices went up 30%. Some reason overnight, and they had some issues giving out those rewards. So if you haven't gotten any rewards yet from DIMO, go ahead and set up a ticket with them. I got mine. So apparently, most people must have got theirs because I don't see that many people complaining about it in the Discord, but also didn't really thumb through a lot of it either. just from what I quickly just briefed through just now. But no real big updates from DIMO or anything like that. I'm not seeing a lot of people brag about what their new devices that they're getting in, or the LTEs ones or R1s or something like that. I've seen some people post pictures of them, but nothing that was blowing socks off or getting rich, as some people said that was going to happen. So, hey, I hope the ROI on them, and think everything is extra or lanyard from there, as they say. So moving on down, we're going to go to Wingbits. Wingbits is still my number one project right now that I am the most bullish on. That's in testnet. We know that according to their AMAs that they recently did, I took some notes. I did a big video last week on Wingbits and the AMA that they did, and you can go check that video out. I'll see if I can remember to post a link to it at the end of this video so you can go and read and listen to everything Wingbits had talked about. We also discussed it on my live last week. But if you are in Wingbits and you have a DIY device and you have not yet gone to the Wingbits dashboard and updated your address for a geosigner, you need to stop what you're doing, pause this video, and go do that yesterday. That needs to be done ASAP. Go to Wingbits, to the dashboard. Again, now, if you have a new device that you're purchasing from HiFix right here, or you purchased it from Helium Deploy, one of the other sites, this does not concern you. Your stuff is going to be coming in, hopefully Q1. They say in January, hopefully. You don't need a geosigner or anything like that. This is strictly for those people like me, like a lot of y'all who have followed me for some time now, who put up our own DIY devices with Wingbits, and we need those geosigners that's going to make sure that none of us are gaming, none of us are doing anything we're not supposed to be doing, that our locations are in the right spot. And the quicker we can get those geosigners connected is the quicker we can get to mainnet. Now, there's been some discussion on how long they're going to give us to get those geosigner devices to get hooked up. I don't think they need more than 30, 40 days, 45 days max. Most people agree with me. And if you need longer than that, you can open up individual ticket, but I just don't think they need 90 days. That's me. I can tell you right now, you go with 30 days and there's going to be people crying that you promised them 3 months ago they would have 90 days. If you go 90 days, you're going to have people complaining that it shouldn't take 90 days to get it done. 30 days was plenty. And then you can open up a ticket if you need it any longer than that. Look, I told you before, I have 14 devices of my own, plus 5 or 6 for some friends, 3 or 4 for some family members. I got 20 devices. I'm going to have to make sure I get it. I got devices all across the United States. So listen, I'm in the same boat as a lot of y'all. It's a pain in the butt, but we're going to get it done. My biggest concern is for 1 or 2 of my devices that are in a building rooftop on the top floor with no windows and nothing around it, where the device is itself. I have the feed line for the antenna that goes through pipes and stuff like that up to the roof, which is going to be way too long or too far for that satellite antenna. And I'm going to have to really figure out what I'm going to do with that 1 or 2 devices that are in building rooftops. Other than that, everything should be cool and good to go. And there'll be videos and some how-to videos and scripts and stuff like that we'll go over with for Wingbits. And as far as Wingbits is concerned, the only big update they've had is they have a Santa contest right now, which is pretty cool. You go to the Wingbits map on the main dashboard page, not the dashboard page, but the main home page. Before you even sign in, there's a map icon at the top. You look around for Red Santa. So this is the Wingbits website. And you can go to map up here. This is without signing in. You go to map. So anybody can participate in this. And as you can see, there are several hexes. These hexes got these pretty little blue antenna icons in them. And, if you zoom out way too far, you will not see it. And actually, this screen is zoomed in. So if you zoomed all the way out like this, you will not find it. But you need to be zoomed in somewhat. You don't have to be zoomed in tight, but just zoomed in somewhat. And you turn around. I mean, you just scroll around and you look for Santa. and Santa will show up in a hex somewhere. And you basically just search and search and search. And hopefully at some point you see a red dot. And hopefully at some point you see a red dot. Let's see if we can see if he might be visiting Europe. He might be at Eiffel Tower visiting with Miss Claus before he has to come bring all the good boys and girls their presents. But so far I don't see him. But it takes, a little bit of zooming in and out. It doesn't have to be again really zoomed in tight, but when I found him, he was over here somewhere. And you just click on the hex that he's in. All right, well, I've searched enough and I'm getting cross-eyed. I know I was told also as a little hint, if you think you've searched enough and you can't find them, you can refresh the map, which then Santee will pop up in a new spot. And hopefully you can find that new spot. But I've tried that 2 or 3 times and I still have not found him. But, I'm hoping that he would just pop up real quick. But so far, I have not seen him anywhere. So, oh, look, here he is. Look, 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 look. We found Santa. So when you click on Santa, you get a chart that will allow you to put your wishes and feedback in here and your email that you're not a robot and you send your wish. Then after that, if you tweet that, you will also get another entry also. What was Grumpy's wish and feedback? Grumpy, ever since Wingbits has started asking for input and that kind of stuff back, Grumpy has asked for basically one thing, and that is, which is my own fault for having so many stations, is when I get an email that says a device is offline, it tells me the 3 character name, object name, whatever you want to call it, smooth, rough, Wolverine or something like that. I have no idea what the hell smooth, rough Wolverine is. I got 14 devices. I want it to be able to say smooth, whatever, 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 house, or whatever I have the alias as also. If it's at, so-and-so building, I want it that's what my alias says. I want it to say smooth, rough, Wolverine, so-and-so building, whatever that alias is. When I'm looking at the dashboard for the rewards and it says that, all these different names, I want it to be able to say the alias next to it. So I don't have to go back and look at my alias names. I can't memorize all that. That's what Grumpy's wish from Santa was. So we'll see if Santa, or one of his elves can get that done for me. We'll see. But that if that's the only thing I got to wish for so far with this project, it's not a bad thing. So moving on, we got next is Silencio. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have been hitting the mess out of Silencio. I have jumped up 200 points in the ranking. I recently just hit 25,000 hexes, which gave me a 25,000 Silencio reward. And I'm working on I think it's 50,000 regular hexes. First one was 25,000 unique hexes. I hit that one. Now I'm working on 25 or 50,000 overall hexes because that gives me another 25,000. And I know I'm also working on another one for venues, which there are not a lot of venues, but I have been doing some Christmas shopping. And when I go to Christmas shopping in town, which I call in town, the New Orleans and the outside areas, when I see these shopping centers and I'm shopping at these shopping centers, you'd be surprised how every one of those shopping center outlets, or whatever you want to call them, stores, are a venue. And I'm sitting there hitting every one of those venues, doing the stupid ad, which I can't stand, which I've complained several times about on Discord, but I have been hitting those Silencio. And again, I have jumped up over 200 rank since the last video doing this. I don't know exactly what my Silencio is because it's on my other phone that I keep, but some recent updates and crybaby stuff that has been going on with Silencio. So Silencio put out an updated white paper with some things that got updated or something. But the numbers that they also released today were so far 61,500 people on Discord, 97,000 on X, 433 sensors, 6.5 million hours measured, and 35 million measurement uploads with 8.3 million check-ins. But people have been losing their mind because of this, the Legion. Apparently Legion is a company that will do pre-release sales and stuff like that. I guess for certain investors, if you're in US and the UK, you couldn't do it, and people have lost their minds over it. And listen, I complain about a lot of things, and I can understand from both sides of this. It's not uncommon to have a project who needs the income or needs the liquidity to do a pre-sale. But if we haven't learned anything from Hawk Tua Girl, and just off the side note, if any of y'all think she had anything to do with this, y'all have not heard this girl speak before. She had no idea what the hell. I'm not taking up for her. She's an idiot. People warned her. She should have listened. She got cocky, and now she's dealing with it. But if anybody thinks she planned any of this stuff going on and she needs to be sued, I don't agree with that at all. But she ain't the first, she ain't the last, and unfortunately, rug pulls are not illegal. But anyway, speaking of that, you have Silencio, who did this pre-sale recently with Legion. And what happened with Legion was they did a big sale, and basically with it all unlocks at TGE. So when people bought this token, which is normally in a pre-sale discounted, they can all dump it at the TGE sale when it goes to CEX. My question was, I want to know why it was necessary. You also just boasted how you just got $2.5 million in seed funding. If you go back far enough in the Discord, you see that they also got millions of dollars in seed money. You have basically yes, you have a some employees there. Yes, you probably got some servers and some network and some developers and stuff like that. But we're talking about millions and millions of dollars. Was a test net necessary? I mean, not test, a pre-sale. Was that really necessary? And when people saw or they're hearing about the price or they guesstimating the price of what this pre-sale was, people are losing their minds because they're figuring out, hey, I've been doing all this Silencio stuff for this amount of time. I'm looking at the supposed, 100,000 Silencio I'm supposed to be getting, and they're doing the math and they realize that's only going to be $100. I'm just throwing some numbers out there. They've been doing this for over a year, and they're losing their minds. Now, what I'll say is what I just said, and I tried telling people listen to Discord. Of course, they don't listen to me. I don't know nothing, but my favorite words are "I told you so." But a pre-sale is normally discounted, so don't lose your mind over what that price is. Now, if you want to be PO'd with them because hey, they're boasting about all this money they keep bringing in, and they posted, some way back also they boasting all this money they brought in. Why was a pre-sale necessary? Yes, I'll get on board with that because I questioned that same thing. And then you have these people who, again, these rah-rah cheerleaders like every project has saying, nobody's forcing you to be in the project. Just like when I complained about the amount of ads and the ads are getting longer and longer. The ads used to be 30 seconds. Then they went to 60 seconds. Now they're 90 seconds. And when you're done with that 90 second, another 10 or 15 second one pops up. And they say, nobody's forcing you to be in this project. You can bypass the ads. That's not the point. That's not the point. So you want to complain about why was this necessary? I'm all on board with that. But don't just look at it straight what the price is. But people that, especially end of last week, over the weekend, that Discord was blowing up with people not happy. People not happy that they're always moving the goalpost and what's taking so long with mainnet. Peaks out. You got all this money coming in, blah, blah, blah. And, we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm still running it right now. Anybody who wants to get into it, again, it's a completely free project. And if I can point the right direction, that's the code up there. You download Silencio. It's very simple. You download Silencio. When it asks you about a code or anything, you put in my code SJSO395. That's what my original screen name was. They won't let me change it now. But anyway, and you start running it. Again, I think it's a cool project. While I'm sitting around eating dinner, eating lunch, or whatever at a restaurant, I'll open up the code. Open up the program, and I'll let it run. If I'm shopping, I'll let it run. If I'm walking around different places, ball games, anything, you let it run. It's free, and you still have a chance to get into the airdrop. And again, I'm not losing my mind over the price because I know most pre-sales, that price is a little bit lower than normal. That's the whole, as I like to call it, the carrot. They attracted to buying that token early, as you know it's going to be discounted. All right, moving on to the next project is going to be 375 AI. Again, still a new project. I do have a code that's going to be in the description below. If you want to get in this project, if not, there's a waiting list. So if you use my code, you can get in right away. And it's a cool project because you don't have to keep it open on your phone. It can be, in the background, one of the apps open, but in the background, and it just runs. And they just hit another epoch. I'm planning on doing a video at some point to show people how to claim the testnet tokens, because some people have questions how they get the Solana faucet and the test Solana tokens and stuff like that to claim it. I questioned, do we really need to even claim it? Because the testnet tokens, I was told yes, because that's going to be part of what the airdrops considered is how much you have in your Solana wallet, your Phantom wallet, or anything like that. But right now it's running. No new updates on the Discord. It's very active, which is a good sign for a testnet project. Very active. A lot of people behind it. I'm seeing more and more YouTube videos. Tech Hustler has just did 1 or 2 good videos on it also. So this is going to be a good project. I got faith. Again, it's a free project, but when you read about what it's about, some projects you read and you just think there's just no way that this is goofy. Not this one. So we'll see. Again, we don't know. That's why none of this is financial advice, but we'll see how this works out. Moving on to CHIRP. CHIRP, I've kind of moved CHIRP down because there's not really much news going on about it other than their Cage app, which they have received a lot of heat on their Discord, but yet they're going to still shove that down our throats. Cage is not available on iOS devices, which, despite how you feel about iOS devices, you can Google it. 54% of anybody with a smartphone, 54% of those people have iOS devices. To exclude iOS devices, then come up with some of the excuses that they're using in that Discord, I don't buy it, because they can easily be debunked on what their reasoning is for passing on iOS. I don't agree with it at all, but that's what they're coming up with. I'd like to see more discussion on these devices that we've all, some of us have gotten, those CHIRP devices, nodes, whatever you want to call them. There's no real speak about that. There's no speak about mainnet other than it's coming soon. It's coming soon. We've been hearing that since August. The Discord also was getting very, very restless recently. Well, we discussed that in the last video, and there's been nothing to reassure people on that other than Cage is doing great. Cage has got this many people scanning. Cage has picked up this many networks, and that's not what this project was about. Was about that app. But it is what it is. If you don't have, if you like CHIRP and you're interested in that project, and you don't have an iOS device, you have one of these other devices, I would suggest downloading Cage and playing around with it. It's a free app. I guess it's going to be rewarded somehow. I don't know, but check it out and see what it's about. That's CHIRP. BitHarvest, still rolling with BitHarvest. I had to go get one of my devices down recently, which was a Wingbits device, and it had the Helium radio taken off of it and thrown in one of my lockers or whatever it was at work. I had to move it. I told y'all I had to move it because where I had it hosted at before, I can't host it there right now. They got some construction work going on there, and basically the whole place is getting leveled. So my plan is to take that, try to figure out which radio goes back on top of it for Helium. But either way, I'm going to put BitHarvest Studio on it, which will make my 7th BitHarvest device. And I will multi-mine, just like the rest of them are on here, is I will multi-mine grass, Wingbits, because it's currently a Wingbits DIY device. Helium, if I can get that radio done. And it additionally, we'll do Coin, Honeygain, Pawns app, Earn app, and stuff like that again, and also grass. I'm running grass on all my BitHarvest devices. I'm doing, which looks like pretty good. Honeygain, which again I have to do a project on. I mean, I do a video on it to tell you about it. But I'm currently running Honeygain on about 6 or 7 devices right now. I didn't realize it until I just did this math. I'm making about, I think, like $1 a day on Honeygain, which is better than some of these other projects. Now, these other projects, again, like the $6, $5, that's one device, where Honeygain is 6 or 7 devices put together, because even my old laptops in the corner that are running grass, that are on a separate network, the old laptops, I told you that's the only thing I run grass on, is either BitHarvest or old computers that I'm not doing any sensitive network stuff on, no bills or no financial stuff. But any device now, I went back, and any device that I had grass on, I have installed Honeygain on, and I'm running Honeygain on those also. I'm making about $1 a day. I have $20. You can cash out anytime you're above $20. My goal is to let this run till next hunting season. This hunting season in November, when I took my November trip, I got $100 out of it, and that's my goal again. But hey, I'm running it on more devices now. I should be at $100 well before then. We'll see how it goes. So that's it. Again, I know this video might actually, for the first time, be under an hour, because I breezed through some of that, because a lot of these projects don't have big updates right now. A big question is this market. Again, if you got the cheddar and you got the little extra funds, DCA. That's what I'm gonna do. Again, I'm looking at my fantasy football right here. I have won my game, so I have, with everybody healthy, and I picked up the Falcons right before. For those who follow NFL or play, but let me tell you, I don't really follow NFL that much anymore. I don't watch a lot of their games, but I still play fantasy. This is with a bunch of friends that I went to high school with back in the 90s, and we'll have to play football together. This is a way for us guys to kind of keep touch. We all drive back to where we're all from, try to get together. And this is our way of kind of keeping in touch. So I have not been to the Super Bowl in some time. Last time I was in the Super Bowl, if any of y'all remember, I think it was Pittsburgh or somebody like that, should have taken a knee, and I was winning. And with like no time left, the guy still took the ball and ran it halfway down the field and scored a touchdown or something happened like that. And I lost with a second or two left. And it was disgusting, because they should have just kneeled the ball. Anyway, that was years ago. Last time I've been to the Super Bowl. So now I'm going to the Super Bowl, and the team I'm playing against is finishing out today. They won it with a nail biter in the end, but he's got a couple minutes left. But again, this guy don't have nothing left to play for. So looks like I'm playing this guy, and we'll see. His running back's now out, so he has to go pick up a running back, and we'll see. And his other running back's out. We'll see how that, but you never know who's gonna get picked up. I'm learning fantasy football. Everything's week to week, so we'll see. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I took first place in the standings, which was a $200 prize, most points, division champion. I cleaned up this year, which is very rare. I had the 12th pick. Almost quit when I had the 12th pick. It was disgusting. I put in running backs, didn't draft running backs till late, and somehow it has worked out in my favor. And even going to Super Bowl, even if you lose, still $200 prize money. I'm planning on taking that money. I'd like to buy a new monitor or something like that. I'm using an older monitor, which gives me issues sometimes, to put a little bit of money into this. again, to keep expanding my YouTube thing. And then the rest, I'm probably going to DCA my money into crypto. I'm probably going to be, depending on what it looks like, Vet, Cardano. I'm just going to keep stacking that. Last bull market, this is something we haven't really talked that much about. Last bull market, I was spread out in so many coins. Every time somebody came out with a YouTube video or somebody, even people I trusted, talked about this token, I was buying, $30, $40, $50 into that. Then they come out with another token. I'm buying $30, $40, $50 in that. So even though those tokens went up, it didn't really make anything because, yeah, I mean, your $30 became $120, maybe, maybe $90. But I'm trying now. I did a huge spreadsheet during the bear market of all those tokens, consolidated those down, sold them, stacked them into certain tokens, and like Alex Becker calls boomer tokens. And I've tried to continue to stack those all through the bull market. Cardano, I bought that through 25, 30 cents nonstop every payday for several paydays throughout the year. Same thing with Atom. Same thing with Vet. Same thing with Solana at $9, $10, $13, $20. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. Yes, people constantly telling me about all these new tokens and everything like that. I got my buddy that does AI that I keep saying I'm going to bring on this channel to tell you all about some AI tokens, because that is going to be the new thing for this bull market. But I'm just going to continue to stack my other tokens, my boomer tokens that I know are going to be sure things. Yes, they might not 10 or 15x, but I know I'm getting 5, 6, 7x's out of those on top of the projects I'm in now that we just discussed. And I'll play that by you and see how it goes. If I can't retire early, it's not the end of the world. But my goal, like I tell you all the time, is to live better financially more comfortable, kids going off to college and that kind of stuff like that. So, hey, look, we had a great live on Thursday, and I'm going to ask y'all again. It looks like I'm not going hunting. I know last week I told y'all I probably wasn't going to be doing a live on Thursday because I was supposed to leave early morning on the 26th to go hunting for the rest of the week in Mississippi. It is supposed to be 70 something degrees and rain. I am not going to do another Missouri trip like I did before where it rained for 70 and 80 degrees and rained nonstop for 5 or 6 days straight. And I had to swat mosquitoes. I'm not experiencing that again. So I'm going to stay home. We'll be doing a live on Thursday. I told y'all also, I'm trying to get it figured out to multi-stream. If I did OBS right, I did set this up so that I can stream on Twitch. I can stream on TikTok. I can stream on YouTube. And I can also stream on Twitter, which I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but hey, it's set up for that. So we're going to see how that is. I don't have no idea how I'm going to monitor all those chats, because basically a lot of these chats are going to have to be opened up in separate windows or my phone, and I'm going to have to monitor through that. But we're going to try that out as a way of just expanding this out more, and we'll see how that works out. So that I should be able to do a live on Thursday. I can't promise how much content. Tomorrow night is Christmas Eve. We do big bonfires along the Mississippi River. It's an old Cajun tradition. I will try to go live for a little bit for that, just to bring that to y'all and take some video. I did post that last year at this time during Christmas, if y'all didn't catch that, and also on my other channel. But I will probably be doing some of that live on my other channel, The Grumpy Dad Outdoors. There's a link in the description for that. So I know I'm rambling on. I'm losing most of y'all. But again, happy holidays to y'all. Merry Christmas to y'all. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever that you and your family celebrate together. Happy whatever that is to y'all. Because that's all that matters is family. And y'all know I'm a very big family person, and I try to express that to y'all. Some of y'all have been supporting me since day one or close to day one, and a lot of y'all feel like family now to me. And I don't mean that in kind of creepy way, not like that, but I don't know if all y'all agree with that, but there are guys here who have supported this channel and supported me, and I can't thank them enough. But if y'all still have all your family with y'all, your parents. My parents are still here. I'm very tight with my parents, especially the older you get. And let's be honest, those years are limited, no matter what age you are. So enjoy that time. I have a hard time putting the phone away. Try to put the phone away. Enjoy the time with your family, with your kids. I found I found an old hard drive that I thought the hard drive itself I burnt up. It was a backup hard drive. It was all my kids' little photos when they were small. Backup Western Digital hard drive. Plugged the wrong size wall wart into it because it looked identical. Burnt up the board. Finally, after 5 years since that happened, I was able to replace the board because you had to resolder a RAM chip on it. I got somebody else to do it. And I found all my kids' pictures from when they were like born 0 to 3 and 4 years old. And it was crazy. That's how I'm gonna try to put it. But your kids grow up fast. For those who have small kids, sit back and enjoy it, man. Because next thing you know, they're gonna be going off to college, and they're gonna try to tell you what you're doing wrong. So that's enough of my rant or my talking too much tonight. Again, Merry Christmas to y'all and everybody, and see y'all Thursday night on live. And catch up with y'all on next video. See y'all later. Thank y'all.